You are watching Area DMG.
Welcome back to Area DMG. I'm your host, Will Wesley, the Mouth of the Midwest, and I'm here to show off again the Hyperkin Smart Boy. Now, if you purchase one of these, you actually have to download something called Smart Boy Companion app. Or let me see if it's over here. Let's see the actual name. It says Smart Boy Serial in my phone, but here in the instruction manual, it is called. You need My Old Boy exclamation point free from Google Play and Smart Boy Companion. You load these up. The first time you run them, they're a little glitchy, but it's okay. It'll smooth itself out. This is a LG smartphone Nexus, and it works just fine. Anyways, you need those two apps, and let's see. We're going to test a couple things on this. Particularly, we're going to test Game Boy Advance Video, which it says it can't play, but I'm wondering a little bit about that. A Game Boy Advance game, and some Game Boy Color games. So, let's first check this out. Let's check out the Game Boy camera. Now, we've checked this and tested it. Actually, let me show it running on a Game Boy Advance SP. There we go. Up and running. It should say Game Freak in a little bit. Yeah, Game Boy camera works perfectly fine. You can even shoot really bad quality pictures of the ceiling or whatnot. Yay! Anyways, that works. The Game Boy camera works. But does the Game Boy camera work on the Hyperkin Smart Boy? Pop that in. It does not even detect it. So the actual answer for that one is no. What'll it think of Game Boy Advance games? Again, no. Game Boy Advance Video? No. I think the reason for this is because there's no L and R buttons, even though there's these weird little things right here on the Hyperkin Smart Boy. If they had added L and R buttons, they could add compatibility with Game Boy Advance games in the future. However, I think this actually has to do with how the Smart Boy plays Game Boy games. Okay, here is Shantae. This is the most expensive Game Boy Color game available out there. Really, really expensive. Now, anyways, I bought it when it came out. It was like 20 or 30 bucks. Anyways, let's pop that in. Come on. Anytime now. It's being a pain. It should just read the cartridge. Let's go ahead and pop out. Okay. Oh, check out my wallpaper. Love that. Cave Story. Okay, let's go ahead and pop that in, because it should be able to allow me to hot swap cartridges like that. See? Loading cartridge data. It might take a little while with some games. Like with Extreme Sports, it took quite a while. With Survival Kids, not so much. With games like Tetris or Super Mario Land, well, the reason is because this particular game card is huge. Certain Game Boy Color games are huge in terms of size. And that might be the reason why, also, it's not playing through Game Boy Advance games, because those can get pretty large too. And there's a reason I'm talking about the size of the cartridge, or rather the size, like, that's why you're not going to see like it supporting Game Boy Advance stuff yet. And we'll get to this in a moment when the cartridge data finishes loading. We're just going to let it sit for a little bit. I'll just speed up this part of the video, or maybe I'll just talk over it and just tell you a little bit about that. This, we've tested it with other stuff. I do have to declare that the first time we tried it out with Survival Kids. Worked perfectly fine, worked beautifully, works great, looks great. This is an IPS screen, pretty much as good as a Game Boy Color game is going to look these days. I do wish there were an easier way to access different options, because this works as a controller for your phone, so in some ways you can actually navigate your menus on your phone with this plugged into here. Although when it reads the USB-C device, it'll automatically go to the Smart Boy serial or Smart Boy companion. But yeah, that works. Survival Kids 2 works. These are games that work. They're also dual mode games, so they're actually slightly smaller, and they're not accessories. I think the Game Boy camera doesn't work because it's an accessory, and it has its own little checks and balances. Well, loading is complete. This is kind of similar to how other Hyperkin products work. Let's hit Run Launch Software, and you have to pick the little one that says Smart Boy GB. There's a little ad at the top there. And there we go. We have Shantae up and running. You know what's funny about this is if we want them to, we can have the Smart Boy app play all games as a Game Boy Advance. So we could access the Tinker Ring that's in Shantae. Now, a couple issues I have. Mainly this has to do with my phone and the size of it. There's a little bit of the text at the bottom that gets kind of cut off. But we hit Start. Hit our file select. New. I'm wondering if that might be a sign of a dry battery. Oh no, I deleted everything in that because I was going to do some stuff. But yeah, it seems to work perfectly well. Let's go ahead and skip that. Nope. I guess I can't skip that opening cutscene. But I'll show you a little bit about why I think this is this has trouble with the Game Boy camera, and with why it takes so long on certain Game Boy Color games, and why Game Boy Advance stuff has issues. Oh no, not another pirate attack. Okay, nope, let's get out of there. No, I need to get out of that. Oh, out of this. There we go. I forgot, you confirm with the B button in this for some reason. Well, that kind of happened the same as like when you first play Shovel Knight. But yeah, nice, beautiful IPS screen. Buttons work great. All this stuff works great. But let me explain something about how this is doing what it's doing. And in order to do that, we're just going to disengage this from the device. Come on, gimme. Oh no. This is essentially a controller for your Game Boy or whatnot, but it loads the entirety of the game into your memory temporarily, which is why if I pop this back in, I can get back to playing it with these. Oh, it reloads it again. Loading cartridge data. Let me go ahead and load up the cartridge data again, and then once it's done loading the cartridge data again into the memory, I'll show you a little interesting thing that happens if you remove the cartridge while you're playing the game. And it's kind of amusing. I'm sure they'll probably try and patch some of this stuff later, and I expect them to do that. It would be nice if the Game Boy camera worked on it, because Game Boy camera is awesome. I just wish people would go back and actually appreciate the Game Boy camera for the genius that that device was. I mean, let's see, you had stickers you put on stuff, which is like an early version of Instagram or that chat option thing. Kind of like how people can put line stickers on stuff. The Game Boy camera was initially the first real AR app in kind of not a conclusive way, kind of like you could take the pictures and then edit them by adding stickers anywhere you wanted later on. It was kind of cutting edge at the time that it came out. And we're going to do a video about the Game Boy camera and about all the different variations of it at a later date. But yeah, Game Boy camera is pretty awesome. And it used a lot of stuff that phone apps today use. I mean, you can add stuff like pictures or draw on things or write on things, or pictures that you take right now with your camera. But the Game Boy camera pretty much pioneered that. And it had a little printer where you could print out stickers using heat-sensitive sticker tech, which was pretty sweet. It's almost unloading the cartridge. That's one thing. Depending on, I mean, if you're playing Super Mario Land or Super Mario Land 2 or Wario Land 1, 2, and 3, or certain other types of games like Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, it's not going to take forever to load. But on some of the larger titles, because it's loading the entirety of the game ROM into your memory, it might take a little bit. Well, now you know how that works. And apparently these are these buttons up here. Oh, let's go ahead and launch our launch software. Yeah, oh, we're back in the saddle, right? Oh, check it out, check it out. I'm going to go ahead and no, keep it straight. It says piracy note. It's a serious crime to copy video games. Be nice and play safe. That will go away once I put the cartridge back in. Just give it a little bit. Come on. Yeah. But yeah, the Hyperkin Smart Boy is an interesting device. It's not compatible with everything, and I'll have to do more testing to see if it suffers from some of the Game Boy Color issues that other stuff had. But if you are a person who doesn't currently have a Game Boy, how did that happen to you? Oops. Yeah, how did that happen to you? If you're a person who doesn't have a Game Boy or a Game Boy Color, or someone playing Game Boy Color advanced games, this is actually your best option, because you can take your existing smartphone, unless you're an Apple user, and you can attach it to this thing, which acts as a controller, and play it. Overall, kind of impressed with this hardware because of what it adds to the experience, and I'm wondering if I can probably use this to try and load up, say, Mythry on this. I mean, because I can play that one with Old Boy, I might be able to with this, depending, because it can work as a controller. I may have to uninstall an app or do some other stuff, but it should be interesting to see what they've unleashed to the world with this software. This is essentially a bootloader that allows you to load up the entirety of the game into your memory temporarily, and then acts as a controller. Interesting device. So, what do you think of the Smart Boy? Do you think they'll eventually patch it to support some stuff like the Game Boy camera? Do you think they'll eventually support Game Boy Advance stuff? Will some of the weird little issues with it be resolved in the future? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't already. Hit that share button if you haven't already. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you hit that subscribe button, make sure that you ring that little bell. Wait. So that you are notified whenever we have a brand new video here on Area DMG. And until the next video comes out, you are now caught up.